Ooh, that is a great big element on the front end of that lens there, bud. Look at that. You can get right up in there with your silky mitts and get a frickin' banger of a photo, eh, boys? And girls. I gotta stop, guys. I've been watching way too much Letterkenny. You guys ever seen that show? God, I love it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Raw Visuals YouTube channel. If you guys have been following the channel for a little while, or if you guys are following me on my social medias, which, side note, if you aren't, here you go. Over here somewhere. Go follow me. Anyway, if you guys are following me, you guys probably do know that a week or two ago, you know, because I wasn't able to make any videos, my work sent me over to actually Korea and Japan, and that is South Korea, not North Korea, obviously, but they sent me over to Korea and Japan briefly to do some work. And while I was there, even though it was a short little trip, I did have the unique experience of actually doing a little bit of photography and videography, but not very much enough like to make a video, which I was hoping to do because I was very busy. But I was able to actually bring back a souvenir, of course, and that souvenir is this guy right here, the Sony 85mm F1.8 full frame lens. And the reason I did buy this was because I got an exceptionally good deal on it in an airport of all places. And I just wanted to make sure I brought this thing to you guys because I've been using it recently and I'm very, very stoked on it. So let's go ahead and roll our intro and we'll get right into what this lens features. Let's go. And just so you guys are aware, this video is not sponsored. Actually, I mean, I guess you could say it's sponsored by my bank account. But if you guys are ever interested in any of the gear that I use or anything like that, make sure you guys check the description down below because all of my Amazon influencer links are in there. And if you guys happen to, you know, want something that you guys see in any of my videos or want to check out any of my kits that I use on my kit.com links, all of my stuff is linked in there. And if you guys go ahead and use those links to buy yourself or your products that you guys want for your photography, videography needs, I'll get a little kickback and it will help the channel out a ton and I would really appreciate it. So anyway, let's get on with the video. Before we get into why I actually bought the lens and some, you know, photography and videography examples of what this lens can do, let's take a look at some tech specs of this lens so you guys can actually know what you're working with. So taking the lens out of the box, we can see that it is wrapped in some bubble wrap. You can see that we have the cap on the end there. We have our lens hood right there, which is really nice. Again, wrapped with some more bubble wrap. And then there is the lens itself right there. Beautiful lens, very, very dense, pretty heavy actually. And with the Sony logo, and as we take off the front cap, you can see that really awesome giant element right there, showing that it is an 85mm f1.8 and it is a 67mm thread size. And if we remove the rear cap, you can see that rear element, and you will also notice that there is no weather sealing gasket because this is not weather sealed, it's just weather resistant. This lens features an extra button on the side of the lens. You can actually map it to do whatever you want, as well as an autofocus manual focus switch and an electronic focusing ring. And along with that manual focusing ring, the lens's autofocus is awesome and very quiet. The lens's minimum focusing distance is 2.63 feet, so you do have to zoom out quite a bit with your own feet in order to get that thing in focus. And it has a circular 9-blade aperture for that really awesome creamy bokeh effect you're looking for. Okay, so we'll start with photography. Now, with photography, portraits are going to be the name of the game with this lens. This thing is amazing for getting that correct focal length. Obviously, it's not a zoom lens. You have a focusing ring right here that is completely electronic. It is not a click focusing ring or anything like that. It's completely controlled within the camera itself, but it is very smooth and you can manual focus everything and it works really, really well. I've tried it a bunch of times and I love it. Recently, I took this guy out on a little photo shoot with my girlfriend and a couple of our friends, and I exclusively just used this lens. It was kind of like a fall themed photo shoot, and you know, went to a pumpkin patch, got that kind of stuff going, got the nice, really cool, colorful, fall colored backgrounds. And I took this lens out for a spin, and my results were nothing short of amazing. I obviously took these photos nice and raw, put them into Lightroom, did a few edits on them, and I was absolutely shocked at the results I got with like the first time I took this thing out for a shoot. And I'll show you guys some photo examples right now. Now, being that I do shoot a lot of video, obviously photography was not the main focus I had in mind when I bought this lens. Videography was also a main focus of what I wanted to use this thing for, and that is for that cinematic B-roll with that buttery looking, you know, creamy background. Just for the purpose of this video, here's some test footage so you guys can see what it's capable of. The reason I wanted to bring you guys this lens right here is because it is an awesome value for what it is. And of course, there's another 85mm lens on the Sony E-mount line for the full frame line that you can get, and that is their G Master 85mm 1.4. And honestly, after using this lens, I'm kind of like, why would you even spend the money on that? Because this thing is exceptionally more cheap than that lens is. And before you guys go ahead and rage in the comments about it, I have used the f1.4 because a guy that I shoot with for my photography company I work with, he owns that lens, and I've shot with it a bunch of times, and yes, I do agree, it is amazing. It is such a good lens, but there are like slight differences between this lens and that 1.4 G Master, and the main thing, you guys can do your research if you want, but the main thing about those lenses, these two lenses, is that the f1.4 gives you like a creamier background and just a bit better bokeh. That's like what everybody will tell you. That's exactly what it is, and from my experience, I've seen it myself. This one still has great bokeh. Did I say bouquet? Bokeh, whatever, however you pronounce it. Anyway, this one still gives you great bokeh, and this lens is actually sharper. So I mean, some people like the not so sharp look for, like, you know, like a dreamier type look, which I get. But of course, you can do that kind of stuff in Lightroom and Photoshop too, guys. So the fact that this lens is already sharper out of the box, which can be proven. I can't show it to you here, obviously, because I don't have the f1.4 on hand, but you guys can do your research and you'll find out that that's the main difference between these two lenses. And to justify that price difference, there's no way. And also, like I said, I found an exceptionally good deal on this guy right here, and that's why I picked it up. When I was in Korea, I was flying out of the Incheon airport back to the States, and they have a bunch of duty-free stores there, and one of them, of course, had a bunch of Sony gear. So, you know, me being a nerd with all this kind of stuff, I stopped in there and I saw this lens, which I've been looking at for quite a while. Never really had an opportunity to pull the trigger on it. But in this instance here, I saw this lens and it was like $200 cheaper than you can get it in the States. And I'm not even joking with you. For some reason, that's just what they charge there in Korea. And it was at duty free, didn't have to pay tax on it, nothing. So it was really, really awesome, super good deal. And that was the reason why I picked this guy up. But even for the price that you pay for it in the States, it is definitely worth it. Alright, so let me know what you guys think about this lens. Would you buy the 85-1.8 or would you guys spend a ton of money on the 85-1.4? I want to know your guys' opinion, so let me know in the comments below, or let me know about any other lenses you guys think that are really awesome that you want to see. I do own a bunch of cameras from the Sony E-mount line, so I own the crop sensor cameras and the full sensor camera, so let me know if you guys want to see any more, because I do have quite a few over here that I have not reviewed yet, so I'm gonna end up doing those anyway. But if you guys have a specific one you want to see, leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to take that into consideration. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. I really appreciate seeing you guys do that. If you guys, again, if you want to see something, make sure you leave it in the comments below. And if you guys really enjoy my channel and the content I've been putting out, make sure you guys get subscribed, turn the notifications on so you can be notified on my next video. And until then, I will see you later, guys.